Super Synapse said I'm the one streaming.
Cody, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, it was a mic test. I
How's
can
the day?
It's good. How are you?
I'm good.
I was gonna say I'll show my face for a quick minute because I just got funny and then I'll slink back down into
You can stay
a
up
role of
here.
my own.
You can stay up here. There's plenty of space.
It's funner to throw vegetables from the.
It is quite fun now. Do you guys make use of the whisper feature as well, out of interest?
No, nobody ever whispers. It's
Ah.
really disappointing. I'm not gonna lie.
I was hoping, people would be just, chatting amongst themselves.
No,
It's a shame.
I've never heard it. I've whispered and no one has whispered back. So
Oh yeah, you
It's
should speak
not obvious how to
in there.
whisper.
How's everyone doing?
peachy. Did Bill go test the whispering? Are they whispering about us? They are. They're whispering about us, dang
You
it.
can usually see when they're whispering. I think we can see when they're whispering. I think it like highlights and shows up and stuff.
Okay.
How's everything going? Who's going to ETH Denver? That's the real question.
I think Teddy will be there.
I'm hoping we'll get to meet quite a few people.
Oof. So freezing.
It's freezing, you said?
Yeah.
We had like -3 with the wind chill where I was last week, or where I lived last week. So it was cold. It's not so bad today.
What state do you live in at your house?
Michigan.
Oh, okay. Oh, so it is
Yeah,
cold.
we got 5 or 6 inches of snow, and then it's gone already, pretty much. So
Snow is better. I feel like I much prefer snow than this wet
cold.
sleet. People are slowly trickling in. I don't see a lot of people in the audience.
Neither do I.
Nope.
Wilder.
Hello. Just on a phone today, so
Are you going to grab one of those guitars and play an intro song for us, or?
No, I'll just be using my voice to serenade you today.
Oh, very good.
There's Stacy.
Every week, like clockwork.
I don't know whether they've just forgotten to change their name at this point, or if they're just rocking it on purpose. Oh, I feel like it's Andrew, but I'm not sure.
I think it was Andrew.
Yes.
Oh yeah, in the chat, it's me.
Yeah. Did anybody announce that the meeting is starting to the community?
No. Oh, you did, Sean?
Or I did in Discord.
Okay.
Unless this was the wrong channel, Chris, it's the governors, right?
Nobody pays attention to governors. You should do it in the actual
I'll send you
the
the
Voyager
link
chat.
for the announcements channel.
You did it too. Nobody outside of the governors.
Huh?
Nobody outside the governors pays attention there. I mean, did you announce it to the rest of the world?
Usually Cody does that.
Yes, he's
We have no Cody today, everybody.
with us today.
Cody here?
Cody's not here.
Oh, okay. No one's getting paid today, guys. Let's pack it up and go.
Okay, I think we can get started.
Go for it.
Welcome, everyone. It looks like we have a small meeting today for some reason. Just want to say something. I'm not sure why. But that's fine. We have a big agenda, a lot of things to go through. Cody is not here today, so I think Super Synapse, you are live streaming now, I hope.
He is. I've got the link up. It is on
Okay,
YouTube.
awesome, cool. Okay, so we're gonna get started. Started with Chris, and then we have. Unfortunately, we have to postpone the DD that was supposed to happen this week for next week. The person that was involved with that needs some extra time. We'll assign another DD proposal. We have a couple upcoming evaluations and then a longer open floor discussion. So I'll let you start us off, Chris.
Let me unmute myself. Well, hello, everybody. Hello, all of the watchers. Thank you for everybody to show up and watching this amazingness unfold. Why are we all here? Wilder, do you know why we're all here?
Yes, because we all believe in a blockchain by the people for the people, and we believe that the current system the current chains available don't deliver on the original promise that blockchain was.
That's right. That's right. And who's responsible for actually making this happen?
You all, to quote Voy, but in reality, it's a nice combination of the foundation, the council, and the community.
And Wilder, you had no idea I was going to put you on the spot. I didn't know I was going to put you in the spot until right now. So, and what is the responsibility of the of the governance committee?
To make decisions in the best interest of the Voy community, and to make sure that we prepare the Voy network for when mainnet comes. So making sure we deliver on the functionality that we need to in testnet, so we have a smooth transition.
Thank you, Wilder. We are doing a Herculean task of launching a blockchain in a decentralized way, and it's not easy. And it's because of you, and it's all of the hard work that you put in. So thank you so much for that, and thank you for showing up. Thank you for representing the community. It's amazing. But one thing that is really important to know is we're not one company. We're not a centralized entity. We're a bunch of individuals that are coming together and collaborating, and there's no hierarchy. There's no telling Taco what to do. There's no telling what Haruf what to do. There's no telling what IRL would do. I mean, good luck if you ever tried, right, IRL? It is a bunch of individuals with a bunch of different opinions and different thoughts and different ways to want to do things. So how do we organize? How do we actually operate in that way? Well, I believe the only way a decentralized community can actually be successful is if it has values that we use as a compass. That we can say, okay, these are our 4 things. If we do these 4 things, nobody needs to tell me what to do. But if I am if I follow these values, we're going to be successful. And those values are goodwill, integrity, collaboration, and intentionality. And if we do those 4 things, just those 4 things, we will be successful, and without anybody telling you what to do. And as always, one of the things I want to do is really kind of like highlight one of those values every single week, because I don't want this to be, just a vanity thing that we have hang on our walls of like the values. Look at those. I want them to really mean something. And the value I want to actually highlight this week is intentionality. So what is intentionality? So intentionality is being deliberate, purposeful, and conscious about our actions. It's not about making choices that are reactive, but also like proactive, like choices that actually align with the beliefs and the mission of all of Voy. Now, the reason why this is important in a decentralized community is because it breeds trust and reliability. When you know that everybody in the community is acting with intentionality, you can kind of rely on what they're going to do because they know what the intentions are. They know what the value is, and you can predict what they're going to do. And so, because of that, you can trust them. Intentionality is also very important because without it, we're going to be going in all different ways. We're not going to be able to really use our limited amount of resources to make sure that we're swimming all the same direction. So being intentional with our effort, intentional with our time is extremely important. And another weird thing about, and by the way, I wrote these down beforehand. I prepared. Shanti, you should be proud of me. I never prepared like this. But the other thing too is that what I think that intentionality allows for, this is kind of squint at this one a little bit, but it allows for innovation and creativity, because what I've found in my long years of building and figuring things out is that like guardrails and limitations actually create the creativity. When somebody can just do whatever they want, you're not really inspired. But with intentionality, when you know what our mission is, when you know what the goals are, you now know what the box is. I have to actually do this one thing inside this box, and these are the rules and limits to this. And what this allows us to do is individuals to be creative to solve those goals in the most innovative way that we possibly can. So those are actually very okay. These just came in. Those are all very important reasons of why to be actually intentional. But just intentionality is extremely essential. Like honestly, guys, we are the underdog. We have limited resources. Everyone else out there, they've had a head start. But we have something that they don't. We have passion, and we have the will to put in the effort to try to make something better because we believe in the potential of blockchain. And we won't stop until it reaches its full potential. So not only do I want to kind of point out why intentionality is important, but I want to call out an individual, like every week, of who really personifies that value. And this week, I believe that Zarmian personifies intentionality. And the reason why I'm calling him out specifically is because, as you know, we're going into the NFT phase. We are building this plane in flight, so many different things that have to come together. And nobody was doing one of the most important things. That is the NFT indexer. nobody's doing it because it's not one of the most exciting things in the entire world to do. But it is a foundational piece of technology. And I mean, I threatened the world to build it myself and make a horrible one. And Zarmin's like, you know what? I can do this. He stepped up, put in the efforts, and is building both actually the API so that people like Shelly, people like Kieran, Ost can all use this indexer and to save tons of extra work and make it really, really easy for new developers to onboard and interact with these NFTs. So that to me is being very intentional, doing work that needs to be done that benefits the entire community, rather than building the next flashing gizmo bang thingamajig that nobody actually uses. So like this is like a really important thing and really want to call out. And because of that, I'm going to go ahead and give him 50K of my VIA. So as a thank you and as a reward for doing that. And yeah, you really are special, Zarmin. If you actually don't know if you're in the crowd or not, but I hope you watch this. So thank you for everything that you do. So,
Shocking development to see Chris part ways with his VIA. Well done.
thank you. Speaking of that, Bill. So that's the speech part of it. Want to give you like an update of something that kind of went down last night and is kind of being built, and I'm focused on, is that we decided we are going to go and own ETH Denver. The ETH Denver is actually launching, or actually during the launch of the NFT Olympics. And we thought, what a better time to use that event to market and to make to bring more eyeballs onto Void and the NFT Olympics, and to all of the actual projects like HighForge and Nick's marketplace and of course the NFT indexer, that amazing thing that Zarmin's building. And so I'm going to be there. Bill's going to be there. Vinny's going to be there. Henrik's going to be there. Found out last night that Scotty's going to be there. Haruf is going to be there. And Bagman is all going to be there. So this is just the start. So if any of you out there, and Shelly, weird if you don't show up, Shelly, just so you know. But everybody else, please come. Please join us. Actually, in making this a Voy event. And I'll buy you a drink. We'll have a good time and really get to meet each other. So that's happening. One other thing that I just said that I'm going to do is that I'm going to actually print out 400 wallets on postcards that are funded with enough VIA to be able to purchase one NFT during the NFT Olympics. This is a perfect thing so that we'll be able to hand out and give to the Ethereum people who we don't have really access to. It's a perfect opportunity to say, hey, here's the onboarding ticket. Here's a QR code. This is my tokens. This is not a governance thing. I'm putting my own out there. Just say, to onboard the people outside of the community that we already have. And at the end of the day, this benefits our NFT creators because this allows for more people to have access to VIA to be able to purchase the NFTs. So, and in the end, I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to get t-shirts made up. So if you do come, you get a t-shirt. It'll be like a NFT Olympics t-shirt, which would be pretty neat. And yeah, so I hope you guys are all jazzed about it. I didn't check the chat. Are people throwing tomatoes at me like normal? Okay, good. Tomatoes. I know that's how I know that you guys are actually awake. So that is everything. If anybody wants to actually step up, ask any questions about Denver. I mean, Zyphoid, you like go to every event with me, so I don't know if you should be there, right? I've actually traveled with you so many times throughout the many years. So, but anyway, anybody, any questions want to pop up? Anybody up on the stage that want to add to it?
Are you guys gonna be there all week? Because it's a long event, right?
So ETH Denver is really confusing. If you look online and it says like ETH Denver is from this date to this date, like the first It's actually only like the main event is only 4 days, and at the end of that event. So it's what days are we gonna be there, Benny? You probably know better than me.
We're gonna be there. I think pretty much all of us are landing on the 28th, and then flying back out on the 4th. I want to say. I think Bill might be parting ways slightly earlier,
Gotcha.
but yeah, Wednesday is when we'll get there.
All right, I'll come on down. It'll be a good time. I'll even give you some of the postcards to give away to.
You know
Be
they
like-
have free childcare. If I didn't have to buy 3 plane tickets, it would be a maybe. But free childcare at events is like, I just saw that. It was pretty cool.
Nice. So yeah, so it's always fun to give free things to people. They get really excited, and you make friends really fast. So, all right. If anybody has any questions, please let me know. But on back to you, Shanti.
Sounds good. Next proposal section. So we will be doing the Novadex DD next week, hopefully. And now we need a person or two to support with headlines proposal X ballot. Does anyone have time to do this? And I do want to point out that please only volunteer if you do indeed have time to get this done within a week. Otherwise, the proposals kind of sit there and don't move forward. So, who is available?
Ouch, Shanti. Ouch.
Anyone?
I did call out a couple people in Discord earlier, and Jay gave a thumbs up when I asked him. So maybe Jay's here to say yes or no to that. But
Jay is
I-
not here today.
Jay is on vacation.
he gave me he gave a thumbs up when I requested his support. So I think we can put him down as one person. Though if he's on vacation and he can't get it done in a week, that's probably a no go.
I think he's gone for a couple of weeks. I think, yeah, that would be hard.
So what, I want to talk about this headline proposal. Because there's a lot. This is a very people have very strong opinions about this overall. And I don't really know exactly why. But I think that people should come up and probably talk about it at some point. So we're really kind of like we can actually air this. The way that I look at it is Headline has built a lot in the Algorand ecosystem. They are very familiar with the Algorand tech, and they have built product, and they have actually pretty strong community. Now, one of the things that I think that I've heard is that their products haven't really truly been adopted, and that they've rolled out and then they've abandoned things pretty quickly after rolling them out. This, of course, is not beneficial, and it ends up being wasted money if nobody uses it. That being said, I know the Headline people. I've met them in person actually several times, and they're very passionate about building. I think that this is an opportunity rather than shake our fingers at them for failing in the past or anything, but maybe step up and say, how can I help you? How can I help you market better? How can I help you get the users? How can I help you by telling you what would get more users? It's not like we need to collaborate. We need to have goodwill. We need to actually really embody these values. That's I plan on talking about every single week. And my suggestion in the chat was like, honestly, like to me, the work that they've already done is done. And it's not a heavy lift for them to launch on Voy. The heavy lift is for them to support Voy and to actually to push it and get users. And I believe that their proposal should be less about, like just a flat fee to receive for launching out front, and more about rewarding actually getting those users. But we shouldn't just abandon them and say, can they do this or not? So we should say, here is what you should do. Like these are what we'd like to see as far as traction, and this is how you're rewarded traction. And ask ourselves, how can we help them hit that? Because we succeed more than they do by hitting those numbers. And so this is a reminder. I see a lot of people going out there and like saying, shaking our fingers of like, oh, you've done X, Y, Z in the past, instead of asking the question, how can we help them be more successful? Because they have the skills. They have the skills that we don't have. And mass. So yes, some of you are developers out there, but how can we help them be successful on Voy? That's the mentality what we need to have. Thank you, Haruf. Anybody else want to come up and tell me why I'm wrong?
Nope. Okay. Anything else, Chris? Oh, we have one more person. We have one person up
I have
at
a
the mic.
question. How do we get from the proposal that they have submitted to that? Like, without,
We tell them to change it. Like this is like we're in the stage right now of giving suggestions to Headline. Whoever is there, and this is why we used to call them champions, rather than whatever we call them, because they are the main contact with them. That champion, that due diligence person, should reach out to Headline and be like, "Hey, this is the feedback we're getting. I think that you have a much higher chance of getting this passed if you change the proposal in this way."
I see. So it's opening up the opportunity to modify that proposal a bit before we go to a final vote on it.
Yeah, we should not final vote what it is. If I would strongly tell you all to not pass it at the current thing. Let's give them the opportunity to actually set it up for success. And let's us make sure that we think on how we can make them successful. Like, this is not us versus them. This is you have skill sets. You failed in the past in XYZ. Here is my suggestion on how we think that we can make you better. And we should have this mindset with everybody. Ira, you had a question?
I was just gonna say, I don't necessarily feel like I'm not one of those people you're talking about right now. I don't necessarily feel strong. I think it's a lot of tokens, to be honest, on the maintenance issue. But I will say, on Zarmian's point, it does look like they've edited it quite a few times already. The token quantity is still high, in my opinion, but they've lowered it a few. Like, it seems like Brian or whoever it is really interested in trying to make it work.
I think having somebody step up and have a meeting with them, be like, listen, I'm getting the vibes that this won't pass as it is. We want you to be here. We see that you might have not had good traction before. We think that we should adjust this proposal to be traction based, and we want to help. We want to help you achieve these goals so that you do, because like honestly, if we set up the incentive correctly, where they get rewarded to onboard 1,000 new people, it's worth it at that point. You know what I mean? Like, it's worth whatever they ask if we can onboard that many new people because of it. So let's set up incentives that mean that we pay nothing or next to nothing if they fail, and they are rewarded handsomely if they succeed. And let's set up in a way that we want them to succeed. Like, that's how these proposals should be set.
Sorry. Okay, I am going to argue with Chris now a little bit. Disagree. So I would say to the Headline people, these meetings are open. You can review it. They should be reviewing what we're saying and taking that feedback, and then come back with something somebody might be willing to jump up and champion them, because it does seem like there's a lack of volunteers to do the DD. But like, maybe that means they need to do some outreach as well then. Like, I think maybe it might go both ways is all I'm saying.
Sure. But the way that I look at it is that we have the responsibility to go above and beyond, more so than, so yes, it's both ways, but at the same time, let's move that mountain. Let's do what it can to make them feel welcome. Let's make them feel like we actually give a shit. But but we're not going to bend over if they can't deliver what we want.
I think what's important to keep in mind is also what Shanti was kind of talking about as far as capacity. There's, I'm sure people that would be willing to help them and talk to them about it, but don't really have the capacity to complete the DD. But I think in the chat, Hoof was waving, so I think maybe he was jumping up to do it. Maybe there is a volunteer, and I didn't see it. But yeah, good points, Chris. Like I said, I think that there's more to it than we try harder. I think it's a group lift for sure.
I think this one specifically is not about time. It's about there's a large number of people that don't like them. that they're like, when people have even said, they're like, you know what? If I am biased against this, and so I don't want to do DD. And this is my call out.
Yeah,
that's my call out to say,
the rest of you guys suck if that's why. But I just don't have the time this week.
but you guys have the final say. Nobody does willing to do DD. You know what that means? It's in the rules. It's an automatic fail.
So earlier, actually before the first eval had gone through, I did reach out to Headline. I did have that conversation about the vibes and kind of where the community was at, which I think helped bring that token amount down. But at that time, I wasn't looking at the what you're proposing, which is a sort of a success-based or attraction-based proposal. So I have a pre-existing relationship with Headline, totally comfortable to communicate with them on this and get the proposal moving forward. But I'd love it to be more than just myself. I don't think I have a bias in this case, but I do think that, especially on the technical side, I'd really appreciate, and all the people named in Discord, but someone with a technical background to be able to jump in and help on this.
So Mariano, you said that I just can't have an objective view because I have a general disregard for what's being built, not even them. I have some slight bias towards them, but just because I haven't seen a product that from them I've liked, so I wouldn't fund something I don't like. Okay. This to me is, I think you'd be a perfect person to do a technical overview. Like paired with, I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if you like it or not, especially if you actually build this, if we convince them to build the incentive in a way that they are only rewarded if other people like it. But we need somebody to be able to look at the actual tech to say, okay, this is, they're calling it a smart contract, but it's really just JavaScript, that type of stuff. And then honestly, I think, Mariano, like you have the knowledge to be able to look at what they've done and say, oh, this is actually decentralized or this is actually not good code. And if you, like, I trust you, there's a reason why you're on the committee, is that if you look at it and say, this is not good code, then we should listen to you,
As well, the plan from the beginning when we hit mainnet is to always do outcome-based grants. It's not going to be delivery-based. So I do think this does present a good opportunity for us to actually do a dry one-on-one at the very least and actually see what it's going to look like. So I'm definitely in favor of, I'm in favor of outcome-based grants in general. So I'd love to see that happen on this one. And really
pre-existing relation. I was just gonna say, I don't have any pre-existing relationship with Headline. I don't have any particular dislike or bias from them. But I would say, like, I think assigning a DD might be premature at this point. Then if there's literally no support for it as is, I don't know. I'd be willing to reach out to him about it, but it seems
we need a contact. We need somebody to reach out to him and actually have a conversation about it. Like you can, this is the problem with calling it DD. It's like the idea is like the DD is like, that's the main contact. It's the person actually that can communicate with them and help them be successful.
And I don't feel like I can be their main person, but I'm definitely willing to add to that combo, Wilder. So if you set up a meeting with him and want another voice that maybe has not had friction in the past with them, I am here in support of that.
Definitely, I can get something set up, and I think we'll have a productive conversation. Like Chris mentioned, they both are very eager. I think they're, and I think they will not shy away from an outcome based proposal because they love to bet on themselves. So I think we'll have success in that on those grounds. And on the technical side, like Chris was mentioning, I think D13's another great person to look at DAO infrastructure with his history. So wherever that support can come from, you don't need to be on the call with us. If you just want to do a full technical audit and collaborate with us that way.
All their code is open source.
Beautiful.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Well, thanks, Wilder and IRL. So I'll put your names down for that. And then
No, that was the opposite of what I said. Don't put my name down for that DD, Shanti.
just Wilder.
I mean, I don't know if Wilder said he would do it. He said he would have a conversation with them.
Okay.
I said I would be happy
You'll
to
have
be
a
there for that.
conversation.
but
Okay,
I
so you'll have, so I will
specifically
put
said
your
I
names down to have a conversation with them together. So we have 2 upcoming evaluations, and they go out tomorrow. So keep or later today. Today's the 31st. So they should go out by the end of the day, and Scotty will be sending those out. And that is it for the proposal section. And we're going to move on to the member open floor.
One thing I was say during this period, a lot of people are coming out and announcing that they're going to be part of the NFT Olympics. I'd really love it if you guys help celebrate that. Retweet, comments, cheer them on. Say that you're excited to have them part of the Olympics. Thank you.
To get the open discussion kicked off, there's two topics. The first being the DeFi stage. We have passed proposals like the Token Challenger Wars, which we had a amount allotted towards, as well as greenlight Zarmian to work on the distribution scripts, which from what I understand, work has been put into, and he's certainly capable of completing that. So one thing that I'd like to get everybody's feedback in the council on is the nullifying of the DeFi stage, and a nuance to that is still allowing Zarmian to complete the distribution script on testnet if you would like to. Otherwise, it would be moved to a mainnet proposal that we wouldn't touch. But I do feel like just because we're not doing the DeFi stage, there's still good reason to have the distribution scripts created if they in testnet, and it would be great to have that ready to go when mainnet hits. So that's where I'm at with it, and I'd love to get anybody who feels strongly against nullifying this to speak up.
It's really 2 different things, Wilder. The distribution is for like the no rewards distribution and that sort of stuff, which was a separate bounty. This was there was Token Wars scripts. Some work has gone into that. I'm not worried about the work that's gone into that. That's fairly minimal. So just to put my opinion out there. But the bounty that passed and everyone was accepted and stuff is a separate bounty that wasn't related to the DeFi stage.
Thank you for clarifying that. Maybe Benny could speak on this, but I do think that having the scripts ready for mainnet would probably be the best approach.
For the Token Wars, we would definitely love to have the scripts ready come mainnet. We would like to hit the ground running and launch mainnet in conjunction with the Token Wars. I'm sure there might be a month between the actual launch and them actually happening. But obviously we'd like to have everything lined up and ready to go so we can test it out and sort of battle test it privately before it's released publicly. And yeah, I think it's going to be a great way to launch mainnet and get people really interested straight off the bat, and just really, for the most part, keep running with that momentum that we've already built up on the testnet. So yeah, we'd love to see that, yeah, before the end, really.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So I think we can, if we're in agreement here for the to focus on the NFT stage, which I think we've made a lot of great cases over the last week for, and it makes a lot of sense. As the official process for nullifying a proposal, I don't necessarily know. I do know those tokens won't be going into circulation because there won't be the ability for them to go into circulation. So as far as the official process, I think I'll work with Scotty to figure out a form or some form of a form that we can vote on, just so it's not a director's decision, let's say. And hopefully we'll have that out this week, and then I think we can communicate a lot clearer on the Voy network website, and it'll be much more focused. It'll just be node running and NFTs, and it'll give the community a clear vision if they're not following these calls. The second thing that I wanted to talk about was the node health rewards and the abuse of node health rewards. I had a lot of conversations with Benny about this. I've been trying to work with Easy Tiger to understand the amount of Discord users signing up, and trying to find numbers so that we can understand the scale and the size of the issue. But from first looks, it appears to be handled well. Benny's doing a lot of the work himself. He's got a list of, I think, 95 addresses. But to give context to that, one Discord user could be responsible for 40 addresses. So we're trying to get a better metric to measure this. The situation being, though, the faucet right now is the number one way that people are coming into the network and trying to spin up more than 2 participation nodes. And there's been a lot of work already with GUIDs and timers, the way that health rewards are staggered, that are preventing people from having an easy time setting up the extra nodes. So one thing is, I think it's important that we communicate clearly that you can't run more than 2, and there aren't these accidents, and people understand that if they are caught, there is a poison pill. You are effectively, your rewards are nullified across all of your participation nodes, and there is a severe consequence. And the other side of it was, as the testnet is growing and there are more opportunities to get Voy outside of the faucet, this issue could grow, and it could become more and more difficult to track bad participants. So one of the ideas discussed, as I could not personally think of a better way to onboard new technical users than node health rewards. I think that is a good system, even though it is the crux of our incentive system. I am of the belief that those health rewards could be in some way decreased and still be meaningful for the people running nodes. And I'd love people's thoughts on this. First of all, I did include in the messages today that the idea of either burning some of those health rewards and just taking them out of circulating supply versus moving them into block rewards. And I'd love to hear people's thoughts on this. And I will definitely be tracking down statistics and numbers so that next meeting I can share with you a much better idea of the scale of the issue right now.
Hello. I will chime in a little bit on this. I had a little bit more time to think, Wilder, after our last conversation. So I just have a couple notes here. So I think slashing the health rewards and allocating them to the block rewards would make the most sense for kind of a multitude of reasons. Obviously, I think keeping the emissions for node runners is a positive, so we don't want to lower that overall distribution. But just from what I understood with how they are being abused, I think that will at least disincentivize or make it a lot more difficult or less worth it. Two things. So onto that. Honestly, I think I asked you and I don't remember the answer. One is, what sort of effect, if any, does this have on the network? People running, say, 10 participation nodes. Is it just from a reward standpoint, or is it because 10 nodes is only as good as 2 if it's on the same computer? Or I don't even know how it works, so I'll probably sound dumb, but can I get a little bit more insight just on like what is the reason for it?
Yeah, I can probably answer that one. It's really just from a rewards perspective. More nodes are great. But obviously, we have the health score as a reason to actually track if they are being actually sort of contributing to the network positively. But really, the crux of the issue is just abuse of the faucet and potentially gaming the health rewards right now.
Okay. So yeah, with that said, then yeah, I mean, I definitely, of course we don't want to, I don't know, how do I put this? More nodes online, the better, I guess. But I understand where obviously people wouldn't want to be diluted. I think maybe I don't understand nodes correctly. I don't see how you couldn't just fake that and not get caught. I feel like I could easily do that if I really wanted to. But regardless of that, I think that you kind of run into a few problems trying to enforce that. Obviously, it takes time, and it's not probably a foolproof method either. I think that it's going to be really hard to prove it, and B, I always think that at the end of the day, okay, you come and blacklist my wallet, well, I'm going to go and buy a whole bunch of Voy or Via on a DEX, and now that Voy is in testnet and someone else has it. You could keep trying to track these wallets, but I can guarantee you I could probably move stuff around if I wanted to. Obviously, I'm not doing this by any means.
This is my idea. And what I think we should do is, upon the snapshot or before the snapshot, we make an announcement that says you are only allowed to run 2 nodes, a maximum 2 nodes this entire time. We will give you a immunity if you come out and admit that you ran more than 2. If you give back the extra, but if you say nothing, we poison pill everything. That way, and then we actually do a deep dive, like before we explain, and we poison pill people. This gives the people say, "Oh, I didn't know," to come back and say, "Oh, here it is," and I'm gonna give it back. And then it gives the other people that want to roll those dice the ability to actually lose everything.
Yeah, the amnesty has worked well in the past with anyone that I have approached with it, mainly because, singling them out specifically, they don't really have a choice. But it would be interesting to see as a general broadcast to see what would come out of the woodwork there.
Yeah, because I also think, too, just in some people's defense, they might not know, you know what I mean? Oh, hey, well, there's these incentives, they just get rolling, they don't really read through it. To be honest, I don't know if I knew it or not. I'm not involved in the nodes. I had one that I didn't really set up, so I don't really pay attention. So that could be very well like just because I'm not engaged in it. But I also too worry a little bit like maybe people actually just genuinely don't know, and I just think that it can be dangerous trying to blacklist wallets. Is I guess just my 2 cents, and it'll be very hard to do.
No, 100%. It's a very, very difficult problem to solve, and this is why fixing the incentives in the first place is the best solution, but perhaps not the most viable. I do think reducing the health rewards could be a very good option there, just to actually make it not as worthwhile for people to even bother with. Because honestly, it's kind of at the point where even right now, I feel like playing along with the rules of the game is way more worthwhile for someone than actually trying to game it. It, in my eyes, doesn't seem worth it at all, having sort of looked at the numbers briefly, but obviously people might have a different perception on that. So I do think some kind of limitation or some kind of change to the health rewards themselves would be the most impactful, and also be the simplest to implement, to be honest.
I love my idea. Maybe a mixture of both.
Oh yeah, I definitely think an amnesty should happen anyway.
This is what I recommend. What we do is we do a proposal or a request or a bounty at the very end to say D13. You get to keep 10% of or 20% of the funds you find. Go get them. You know, and then like and then let everybody know that's happening.
Nice.
I definitely would actually. Okay, I would love those three things then. Just a modification to the health rewards, an amnesty. It has proven effective previously, and I do like the idea of people being able to earn. You know, I know we kind of went into it last meeting. You know, sure there could be gaming of that as well if I give myself up, just so I definitely keep them. But I think it'd be pretty interesting. So I'd definitely be on board with things like that, really. And it for those that are interested. If you actually look at any transaction from the faucet, Easy Tiger has actually embedded in the amount requested and the Discord ID that did request it. So you can actually automate a lot of the investigative work, especially coupled with D13's tool, which escapes my mind right now what it's called. I think something Flow. Just called Flow. Brilliant. I was nearly there. So yeah, I think the tools are there for people to find this stuff out, really.
I'm getting close to the point where I'm just in the camp of eliminate health rewards, and just people have the ability, even if they're brand new and they show up, to get sizable amounts of VIA in a lot of trivial ways. That they have an option to swap for VOI, put it right on a node. Start out with, you know, they can go to ETH Denver and get 50,000 VIA and swap it that night and have a node with, you know, 25,000 VOI on it. So we've reached what we need from a participation network standpoint. I want people to have an opportunity to have an ease of onboarding. I'm really friendly to pretty much anyone that asks, can I have some VOI to boost my reward? Here you go. There's a lot of energy and effort and, you know, concerns about, you know, false positives and like we poison pill someone that actually didn't do something wrong. My point is, I think we're getting really close where it's almost like mainnet, like you want more VOI on your node, go ahead and buy it. And it's like there's other avenues here than a sizable weekly faucet that just confirms that you're healthy, that people are gaming. So I'm getting really close to just saying, if I have a vote on this, just kill them.
Yeah,
I would keep the health rewards, but I would affect your block rewards based off your health. Is how it would go, but same.
Okay.
Yeah, similar. Yeah, we did discuss this as well, Wilder and I, as either modification or elimination. Elimination is definitely the simplest in terms of actual effort involved for everyone.
So next week, let's vote if we remove block rewards. Or sorry, health rewards.
Well, as I said earlier, I definitely want to bring as much information as I can, so we all feel like we're making an informed decision. So also, please, if you haven't had a chance to come up and share your thoughts on this, please do.
Yeah, and yeah, I do think at the very least they need to be slashed. At the very
get rid of them. Stop it, Benny.
I'm just
saying,
be a
coward. Don't be a coward. Let's just get rid of them.
At the least, they need to be slashed. At most, they can be removed.
All right, I like that. The second option. I think that what we can do though is we can roll the health rewards into the block rewards.
Yeah, that was something that Wilder mentioned too.
Yeah, so it's like we can still give that same amount of out. It's just that goes to actually block rewards, and then what we do is we decide if you receive your block rewards based off of your health.
Yeah, there could be some impact to some kind of negative multiplier.
Get like 50% if you don't have good health or something like that, or 10%. Thoughts?
Yeah,
all right.
Two things really. It's like the health rewards are just to bootstrap early adopters, but I have no issue with applying some kind of multiplier based on health to block rewards. That makes sense to me, and we'll be doing something similar anyway with the changes that are coming this year.
Good. And we have a DEX now, so people, like Bill said, people can earn VIA and then swap them for VOI if they want. Because there's going to be some NFT buyers that are going to be wanting to swap their VOI for VIA. That's for sure. Gonna have a market, folks. All right, moving on.
Just to catch D13's questions there, this will definitely be outlined in a proposal that we set out before any of this takes effect. And based on the conversation here, I was imagining the level of 5 for a health reward would be the minimum.
And by the way, the health rewards that we use right now are the same health rewards that are going to go into the actual protocol block rewards that are eventually coming. So like what I just proposed is literally just a more manual way of what will be in the protocol. Except that if you're not healthy, you get no block rewards because you would be suspended from producing blocks.
Okay, Wilder, that's the end of your agenda items. Is he frozen?
Sorry about that. It's on my phone, I think, when I switch between.
Okay.
I just want to clarify for the forms today for the token release administrative coordinator. That is a bounty made by a non-foundation member, so it will be a form that'll be similar to a first eval for bounty approval the first time that we've done it. And for someone who's interested, you write a proposal that will match that bounty if you're interested in that role. For the NFT challenge Olympics, it's currently not expedited because we have enough time to get this to passing as long as we hit our deadlines each week. So that will be a first evaluation as we've finished editing it and Benny's fleshed it out quite well with the related KPIs, as well as going the extra mile and coordinating conversations with Zarmian to make sure that the scripts for tracking that and will be available. So Zarmian's doing a ton behind the scenes, if you're not aware.
Okay, thanks for clarifying, Wilder. Okay, now we have the open floor, and I don't think Taco is here today. Though I thought he would be. Okay. Do we have any, I don't think there's anyone here from the general community, but we have a few minutes left. Is there anything anyone wants to come up and discuss, or do you want to talk more about ETH Denver, Chris? And how people can maybe support if they are coming?
I mean, I think I would love to get as many Voyagers there as possible, mainly because it's going to be an actual event. If you come, t-shirt, be able to pass things out, get the word out. It'll be fun too. And like, if you haven't been to ETH Denver, it is my favorite. It's one of my top 2 favorite conferences, period. You get to see a lot. If you're an Algorand person or an Algorand Max that's lived in the Algorand world, I recommend strongly going to like an ETH Denver because you get to actually see what the rest of the world is like, which is very eye-opening. And you also have friends there.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Chris. And do we need volunteers though to support with the logo and the development of t-shirts?
I've already started talking to the designer, so I think we're fine. I was told this morning that we're fine. If that changes, like sometimes it might.
Okay, so we'll probably see some prototypes or designs in the chat, and people can provide an opinion.
IRL asked, how many projects are on board for NFT Olympics so far, Shanti?
We have 18 that are in. That being said, I've announced this in the Discord channel. Like if people want to officially, and please do tell this to anyone that you know, if they do want to officially participate, they do need to fill out the actual registration form. And so of that form, substantially less have filled them out. However, there are about 18 that I believe are working on projects and will be launching on March 1st. So that's actually a really great number if everyone is successful.
The truth is with this is that this is something I'm really worried about. is we have 16, 18 projects that have signed up with doing zero advertisement, zero marketing, zero anything. So our marketing starts tomorrow on this, and I think that we're going to be inundated with creators that are going to want to launch a 50-piece collection. And I worry that we're going like if we get say 50 to 100 creators, are we going to be able to be like our small team going to be able to support that? So that there's going to be a lot of need a lot of help to help coordinate. So if anybody's willing to help with that, so I would love it. It's one of those things, a good problem to have, but at the same time, it's a scary problem to have.
Nothing we can't handle.
All right, you heard it here first.
With help.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a million AIR armies. Like they're going to be like, oh, I generated 50 penguins with hats on them with my AI. I'm in. Like this is going to happen. So we're going to like this is like a and the other thing too that I'm been doing a lot of thinking about is it's I mean, there could be a review process. Super Synapse. We haven't really actually gone that. Like everybody that's in so far has already been reviewed because they have like a history of being successful. So, and the question is, who do we say no to? Benny's sister, who has never created an NFT in her entire life, is going to create 50. Why is she different than a Turkish friend that's used AI to generate 50 images? Like that's the thing. It's like, how does this work? So, yeah. Start thinking about this because I think this is going to be a problem because once again, nobody knows about the NFT Olympics other than me whispering it in the air, like NFT Olympics are coming. But once we actually put that form out there, once we actually start hitting, like we have a marketing team that is going to be pushing this. What do we do? And the other thing that I really want to kind of nail down is strict rules on each of the games. Can a creator mint their own NFT? Can they mint all 25 of their NFTs? Can all of the stuff I think needs to be thought through and actually make sure that it's clear, because if not, we're going to once again have trouble because say the AI farm person puts it out there and then buys all 25 and wins that game. And somebody like Haroof launches Lil Chubbs and asks his community and doesn't win anything. Is that okay? Why? And why the incentives that we've actually set up, it is okay. Because at the end of the day, what we are incentivizing is people stress testing HighForge, and somebody botting it is stress testing HighForge. So as far as why we're actually incentivizing, it scratches that itch. But there's a second layer of feelings and emotion of people that are playing the game correctly because they are trying to incentivize their community. So it's like one of those things, like, what do we do? How do we actually do this? So I challenge you all to think about it with me.
On that note as well, I'll also be. I think the NFT Challenge Olympics proposal is a great place to define some of this more clearly. So I'll also go back into there and make sure I include another section that goes around qualifications and set some base entry requirements. Let's say.
Right. Can AI be used to generate images? So anyway, this is something that's I have been thinking a lot about.
Just before we wrap up here, I wanted to give a shout out to Super Synapse. If you're not aware, he made 3 excellent videos walking people through step by step for Windows, Mac, and Linux. So just always impressive. He started right from the beginning, trying to rework the press kit so it was in a form that anybody could come in and use it. And he's gotten all the way to making very high quality videos for voice. So excellent job, and it's impressive. Thank you.
Yeah, and, great job, Super Synapse. And we are we have the Henrik script is almost done, so that people can one line launch nodes now, which is we might be able to sunset your script D13. So thank you for all of that work, but bringing it down to one command. Cool. Well, this is the final. So many things are happening. This is exciting. Please help. Right. See you guys next week.
Thank you, everyone. See you. Have a great week.
Cheers, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye.